Hello everyone, I'm here to do the final reflection for the course. It says to make 3 to 5 statements about how I personally feel about emerging priorities, future trends, and new directions of higher education in the next 5 years. Okay, with the emerging priorities, I feel like that the top priority of higher education right now is where is funds coming. In the past, we've looked at parents, students, presidents of university, and faculty. That's how the foundation of higher education was set up. In the present, we're looking at more so federal and state funding, but we're seeing a decrease in that federal and state funding. So it is up to institutions at this point to figure out what methods and what ways can they fund institutional successfulness. And I'm thinking, especially when you're looking at students are, the financial aid loan debt is going up by the trillions. And when you're looking at how much funding and how much debt these students are accumulating, we're going to have to figure out a way to try to compensate, because if you're getting $60,000 in student loan debt and you're turning around and you're not even going in with a job where you're making $60,000, with some students, they're not even going to see a $60,000 salary at one time in their lifetime. So it is up to us as administrators in higher education to figure out what assessments need to be made and what strategies we can take to combat that student loan debt and to fund institutional successfulness. In terms of future trends, I'm thinking one of the things that I've come to notice, especially coming from the previous university I worked at to the current university I'm at, I'm noticing that many public institutions are starting to operate in a private manner. And what that basically means is a lot of institutions are going specifically on outsourcing of different situations, such as janitorial work, such as cafeteria workers. So I'm thinking we're going to see a lot more of the outsourcing in higher education, because though it goes back to the emerging priority of funding. So we're going to see, as a future trend, more and more institutions doing more outsourcing. Also, as a future trend, I think that the ability to recruit students is going to it's really going to skyrocket and be top priority. At this point, we're seeing so many students that are interested in immediately going off to college and entering into the college sector. And I think that has a lot to do with the economy. In today's economy, a person cannot simply graduate high school, get a good job. Now they can, but we're looking at a more competitive workforce with people who's having bachelor's degrees and they're not even able to obtain positions. So I think the need for recruitment is going to skyrocket and be a future trend, as well as the methods that are used to recruit students. For example, I know a lot of college institutions have their admissions counselors go out, host different fairs, and do other situations. But I'm starting to think maybe they're going to start enacting programs where a select few of students, they get to come to the campus for a certain amount of time, maybe a weekend or maybe even a week, and just to get to experience college where they're able to be more interested in the college they're pursuing. As far as new directions, I feel like with the new direction, technology is really going to be where most institutions go towards. It wasn't until I started my current position that I realized that a lot of online schools, such as the University of Phoenix and Kaplan University, are regionally accredited. And so when I'm looking at those and I'm evaluating transcripts, I'm realizing that a lot more students are aiming towards regionally accredited online institutions, and they're looking more so at online institutions because of the flexibility and the ability to work full-time, earn money, and not having to take out so much debt. Also, I think a new direction that higher education is going to take is focusing more on diverse populations, recruiting international students, recruiting students of different backgrounds. And that's just to make it more diverse, to be more representative of the world. So I think diversity among the student population will be a big part of higher education. as well as with new directions. I think a lot of institutions, once they get that emerging priority of funding settled in, they're going to look for, and it really all ties back to funding. They're going to look for more ways to provide students who's excelling with scholarships. They're going to look for more research methods for students to come up with and better get students maybe published at a quicker time, as far as a student starting a project in one area and then working throughout that same project throughout their entire undergraduate career. And then also, I think a new direction that higher education is going to take is an introduction of different majors. It's amazing to me how there's so many different career fields in the world now with this economic through those technological advantages and advances. So I'm thinking there's going to be an influx of different type of majors and different type of career paths for students. So I think the introduction of different types of majors and different type of curricula will be a new direction that higher education take. So these are my views on where I feel really just higher education will go in the next 5 years and so forth. Thank you, and I hope everyone have a good day.